Namaste once again. Vasanti ji, you're doing the Shwas ko Shuddhi.
Yes, I did today. I did this also. क्या बोलते हैं? I forgot the name.
The lotus opening.
No, not lotus opening. I couldn't do.
You couldn't do it.
सुबह gargle किया. Yeah.
Jalniti.
हाँ, जलनेती.
Oh.
जलनेती भी किया. तो बहुत सा कफ निकल आया.
Very good.
Yeah.
So you're breathing better, है ना? सांस अच्छी आ रही है.
अच्छी आ रही है. सुबह का आधा घंटा तो उसी में चला गया.
हाँ, नहीं, बट सांस अच्छी आने से तो एनर्जी भी अच्छी रहती है, मन भी अच्छा रहता है. If your breath is labored, परेशानी होती है जब सांस लेने में, तब बहुत बेचैनी हो जाती है, रात को नींद भी नहीं आती है. ओके. व्हाट अबाउट द लोटस ओपनिंग? आपका नहीं हुआ. अदिति जी, आपका हुआ लोटस ओपनिंग?
Think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. So
what we talked about yesterday, the breathing had become smoother.
Yes, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
And then you were able to replicate.
Yeah.
So your responsibility to help Vasanti ji get a little more familiar with that.
Sure.
Right. Sharmila ji, any luck?
I don't know, sir, whether it is happening or not.
If it happens, you will know, because your breath will be a little easier, a little smoother.
Okay.
Sushumna, as it is, Sushumna is not. See, Sushumna needs work. Sushumna is not something that you master in a day. Sushumna is a path that you start with. You start with that path, a little happens, a little happens, a little happens. Think of a solid rock, for example. Now, if you wish to make a hole through the rock, it's never easy. You want to make a hole, drill a hole through the rock. It's never easy. It takes time, effort, persistence, and so on. In many ways, Sushumna is like that. In many ways. Because we are not concerned just with accessing Sushumna, but we are concerned with drilling a hole through it, in a sense. Not really drilling a hole, but finding the passage through it, all the way from the Mooladhara to the Sahasrara. That is the goal. So we may begin to access, with God's grace, thoda, access may be a little possible sometimes, but there is a study called Swar Yoga, or Swar Gyan. It has to do with the flow of breath, left nadi, right. It's a very deep subject, mind you. We are dealing with it, or we are referring to it only very superficially. But Swar Gyan, or Swar Vidya, it's a very, very deep subject. In fact, people who go deep into Swar, they can actually predict the outcome of events based on the Swara. It's a very fascinating subject if somebody wishes to explore. So anyway, this is in Swara, they say nadis automatically switch between right and left, or Ida and Pingla, automatically. About an hour, one nadi, about an hour, another nadi, and so on. And between the switch, there is a period of 3-4 minutes when Sushumna flows. So a little bit of Sushumna is accessed according to this for everyone. The question is how much? And the question is whether one is able to increase the amount of activity, or how long the Sushumna is active, and that's important. Arunaji, we can see your name, but we can't see your presence, I guess. Ah, there you are. There you are. Okay, right. So back to the question that I asked the others. Did you manage to get that sense of lotus opening at the mula, at the tailbone?
I tried, but very little bit.
Okay. So it doesn't matter if you felt there was a little bit. It's a slow process, which is what I was trying to explain just now. It's a slow process. Let
I
it happen.
tried, but I feels 1.5 minute. I feel that there is happening something.
Okay. As you continue doing it, again, it's a process. जैसे जैसे करेंगे, you will make your access to the Sushumna much easier. In many ways, this is like, finding a hack into the Sushumna. Lotus Opening is a program that or it is part of some programs of mine, but it's a deeper subject. It's a deeper thing, but very powerful because of what it does. It in a sense it allows vasodilation throughout the body. You know what vasodilation is? I think we referred to it one day. For example, when somebody has an heart issue, if there are blockages in the heart, etc., either a doctor prescribes a blood thinner to make the blood a little thinner so that it flows a little more easily. So they reduce the viscosity of blood. That's one thing. And the other is they make the vessels or the nadis also dilate. Dilate माने थोड़ा चौड़ा करना, cause them to dilate. When this dilation happens, and they use different kinds of medicines, etc., but the body also produces a thing called nitric oxide, which is a natural vasodilator. When you do pranayam, for example, and when you do different kinds of pranayam and certain other activities, it's produced in the nostrils, the nitric oxide, and that helps to allow vasodilation and so on, and that has a very good impact on the body systems. So in a sense, what we do is, we hack into that by doing whatever we've attempted to do. But if your experience of it is not so clear or so uh, strong, maybe yet, doesn't matter. Let it happen if it happens. If it doesn't matter, if it doesn't. Yes.
Sir, does this vasodilation, as you mentioned, happen only if we do, if the lotus opening happens, or it happens with the normal pranayama, with the Hanuman breathing also it happens?
So, with normal pranayam, generally, I think we mentioned day one. For example, when you sit in meditation, those of you who meditate, if you notice, when you meditate, also something happens. Your breath becomes smoother, your breath becomes easier. Have you noticed? Because a certain ease comes into the body. Now, whether this ease is causing the vasodilation, or at least if this ease is causing reduction in the vasoconstriction. So vasodilation is one aspect. The opposite is vasoconstriction. Tension, stress, they create a vasoconstriction in the body. That's why you will notice, for example, when you are stressed, when you're angry, etc., your breathing becomes heavier. Your stomach also becomes tight, but also there is a certain heaviness in your breathing. Uh, it is it is my understanding that a certain amount of vasoconstriction is caused because of stress. And when you are in a meditative state or when you relax, etc., a certain amount of vasodilation happens. Belly breathing helps you move into that. I will not say that it triggers an immediate vasodilation, no, nothing of that sort. But it helps you move into that state where vasodilation can happen. You can do an online search, do a Google search on vasodilation, vasoconstriction, blockages, and nitric oxide, for example. And the body does this. Chanting of Om, for example, even that helps with the nitric oxide production. Can anybody do an online search and tell me what you find? Just do a quick online search and see what Google Baba says
Regarding, sir?
regarding nitric oxide and vasodilation, for example. See, these are just some terms that I've thrown at you because that's what it is. At the moment, you're not familiar with them. So fine, I've said it, but if you do your own research, if you do your own, you know, reading up on this, your understanding will become clear because these are short programs, 1 hour or 45 minutes in a day. It's not enough to really get you deep into the subject. Uh, but awareness of this, how it affects. So, for example, there is a condition called arteriosclerosis. Sclerosis. I don't know if my pronunciation is correct, but basically that's about blockages in the body, and it's a very common problem. This arteriosclerosis, very common, and basically that leads. I have a theory about this. If I can digress, my theory about this is, in many ways,
It's
age.
mentioned.
Sorry.
You carry on. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. In many ways, age is the number of blockages in the system. So when we are young or when we are younger, the number of blockages is fewer, health is good, one looks more, vital or, energetic and so on. But as we grow older, we lose that vitality, we lose the youthful looks and so on and so forth. A lot of physical changes start appearing because the blockages create their own set of dynamics in the body. And like we discussed earlier, there are systems in the body. If they don't function well, if they don't flow well, then the organs will not get what they need to get from the systems, leading to malfunction or their own contribution to overall health reducing and so on. Yeah, did you find something?
Yeah, it's given. They also have recommended some food, some fruits, and the relation between nitric oxide and.
Uh, and also you can do atherosclerosis. How common is atherosclerosis? Arthero sclerosis. SCLE A
Pardon?
A ARTHERO SCLEROSIS. Let me see how it's pronounced so that I don't get
Sir,
tongue twisted.
regarding nitric oxide, sir,
Yes.
it says that it is released from the cells to relax the blood vessels.
Yes. So when
Nitric
the blood
oxide
vessel,
is released from the cells to
yes,
relax the blood vessels.
yes. So when the
And
blood vessels,
yeah, and the
are
best way to increase is to eat nitrogen-rich food and exercise. These two are
yes.
the ways to increase nitric oxide.
So this is one view. Read more, you'll find more. Uh, Pranayam and nitric oxide. Do a little research like this. Use these keywords, pranayam and nitric oxide. So do this combination, you'll get deeper insights into something. Remember one thing. Whoever writes or whoever shares information is sharing from a certain point of view, depending on what their interests are and so on and so forth. Based on that, they are, sharing whatever they're sharing. Anyone else?
It improves the ventilation in the lungs along with the relaxation of bronchial tree smooth muscles. So oxygen uptake is increased and it provides relief from asthma.
Yes. See. So these are little things that, make a huge difference to one's state of health. It's just that most people don't seem to be very aware, and their interest also does not take them into study or looking for more information and so on. But it's just that because I have been interested in breath for a long time. See, I've not done a formal course, at a university to understand about breath work, etc. But I've done my own breath watching, and as I continue to do it, I get some insights, I get some clarity, I do a little bit of reading, etc. And then more, when things tie up and they lead me in a certain direction, I know that, my assumptions or my conclusions are probably in the right track. Yeah. वसंत जी कुछ बोल रहे थे आप?
कि मैंने वो अर्थोस्क्लेरोसिस का भी देखा. This is a hardening or damage of this thing.
So basically blockages in the system.
Blockages.
Atherosclerosis is the buildup of fats, cholesterol, and other substances in and on the artery walls.
Yes.
This buildup
And
is called plaque.
and how common is it?
The plaque can cause arteries to narrow, blocking blood flow.
Yes.
The
Yes.
plaque can also burst, leading to a blood clot.
Wow. And how common is this?
That I didn't read.
Okay.
But
So it doesn't
nowadays
matter.
there's
It's pretty common. So look for cure for atherosclerosis or relief from atherosclerosis. What do they suggest? Maybe they'll suggest some drug which is like a vasodilator. Maybe. Take a look. So, these are things that people do or medicine does and so on, and the body does some of it on its own as well. And if you choose a lifestyle, or if you make those kind of choices which help with this, then automatically you will create conditions for your own overall well-being. Problem with medicines is, they do one good thing. They may, give you relief from a certain symptom or a certain thing, but they also create certain side effects, usually, especially Western medicine. I don't know so much. I'm sure even Ayurvedic medicine sometimes may do something like that, sometimes at least. Yes, I think Aditi, Arunaji, you willing to say, you got something to say, Arunaji?
About half of is a common condition that develops when a sticky substance called plaque builds up inside your arteries. Diseases linked to atherosclerosis is the leading cause of death in the United States.
Mm.
And
Mm. So this is also responsible, for example, for heart issues or brain issues, ED, erectile dysfunction issues for men, and similar things for women also, and so on. So they create their own set of problems, for people and people's lives and so on. If you live and if you make choices that help clear these blockages or reduce the effect of these blockages, naturally, good health starts coming to you much more easily. And if you do it naturally, you are in such a better place. I have often referred to my own, lifestyle once upon a time with 40 cigarettes a day and 20 years of 40 cigarettes a day, and how I developed COPD. My breathing used to be very labored and so on. But today, after all these years of deeper and deeper and still deeper breath work and pranayam and so on, today I feel I breathe better than I did even 30 years ago. So there's a huge difference. And if you breathe, sometimes I use a tagline, say, to breathe better is to live better. To breathe better is to live better. Come, let's start with our main thing. Let's do our exercise and that legs up the wall with the Hanuman Master Breath. Anyone noticing any change in their overall system's condition? Yes, Vasanti ji.
Legs up the wall. I think that has given me problem because Today whole
Ah,
day I had a backache, very bad ache.
oh, I see.
Just now, finally, I took a Combiflam because otherwise I would not have sat here. That severe pain whole day I had.
So, did you put a cushion under your lower back?
No, no, I didn't put, but
Mm.
I better avoid that. I
Okay,
will just
okay,
lie down
no
on back
problem.
and hold my legs in the knee,
Yeah,
and then
your
that
condition,
was comfortable.
yeah, your
Yesterday
condition
I tried
doesn't
that,
need that.
which I shouldn't have done. Yeah,
Okay,
because
no
what
problem.
I am having a problem in L5 and
Oh,
S1. Yeah, there is a
is
gap. Yeah,
is that
so
something new, or
that
is that also because of sciatica, or sciatica is because of
because
that?
of that sciatica is there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because
Yeah.
of the lumbar or this thing, the
Yes.
problem is there.
So continue with your
Yeah,
Hanuman
I
Master
just
Breath.
lie down. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hope your sciatica is showing some improvement though, Basanti ji.
Yes,
Is your sciatica showing any improvement?
there is no sciatica pain, but lumbar pain is there whole day.
Oh, that is a new pain for you. That is a
Yeah.
new pain.
Actually,
But
it's not
sciatica,
new. It's a very chronic one
okay,
which
okay.
had disappeared. It came again
Ah,
today.
I'm so sorry.
It's
That
a
is
very,
bad. That
very
is not
chronic
good.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, that is not good.
So I will avoid that question.
No, but
That
also in some ways it ties up with what I told you earlier. When you start doing this Hanuman Master Breath, the main pain that you're facing at a moment that may go away, but it may seem to move or it may come up somewhere else. So it could also be connected with that.
let's
So
see what
yeah,
happens. But
but continue with your
yeah,
Hanuman
I'll
Master Breath.
continue. But I will avoid that question.
Yeah,
I
that is
will
okay.
just lie down. Yeah.
That is okay. Fair enough. अरुणा जी आप नहीं करोगे? ओम ओम belly relaxed, very relaxed. Om. 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 Since today is our final day, uh, request to all participants, please do send me your testimonials or reports on how this may have impacted you. If you can make a video, it will be very, very helpful. Once you see some changes and reportable changes, please do this. I don't care. I don't mind whether it happens a week later or 2 weeks later. But if you do it, it can be inspiring for others. So please take out the time and do that. शर्मिला जी कुछ बोल रहे हो आप?
No,
You
sir.
got
No.
So why don't you do a little bit of Anulom Vilom with the
Yes, sir.
Hanuman Master Breath? Om. 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 Yes, Aditi ji, are you okay?
No, I had to step out. I'm joining
Ah,
back again.
okay, okay. But everything is good?
Yeah, all is well. It started pouring. The kid had his tuition, so the teachers needed to be informed, the instructions needed to be given, etc.
ठीक है.
Gargling and Jalaniti has helped me a lot, actually.
Oh, ji,
Yeah.
very good.
Now I could experience that just now. Whole day I couldn't do anything.
You could
Now
experience
the breathing was very,
the lotus opening at the tailbone.
yes.
Okay,
Now I
very
could
good,
feel.
very good.
Yeah.
So continue doing that and combine it with the Hanuman, with the Anulom Vilom now.
Anulom Vilom.
Anulom Vilom and the Hanuman Master Breath. शर्मिला जी, पेन में कुछ फर्क आया in the anything in your observation as far as your varicose veins are concerned?
Not really, sir, but
I know, slow process.
breathing wise, yes, I am definitely
Hmm.
day by day. I'm, Hanuman breath. I'm able to, it's becoming easier day by day.
That is good.
Yeah.
Again, like we said earlier.
I'll keep you posted, sir, regarding any development
Yes.
regarding the pain. Because for me, hearing the information from you that breath can do so much of magic is like it's unbelievable for me. When you said that your swelling in the jaw
Yes.
and
Yes.
your piles issue and whatever, when I know that it can all be treated with the breath, it's magical for me.
It
So
is
I
magical.
wish I experience the magic soon.
Yeah. So it will happen. Channels have to be created, and of all the channels, this one, the
Hanuman breath.
Sushumna channel, which is working directly on the Sushumna, this is the most critical. Even yogis, like I've said earlier, they used to practice for a long time to get this to become activated, to start working more, thoda thoda shed sabke. For everyone, maybe a little bit works, but to get it to open a little more and a little more and a little more, and to do it with a way or with a system that is actually directly working on it. See, for example, Anulom Vilom is supposed to be very good for Nadi Shodhan. Also helps with the Sushumna Nadi. But the process is very slow. It happens when it happens. But in the Hanuman Master Breath, you are making it happen. Just that little bit of conscious movement up the spine and up the spine and up the spine, that becomes a very, very powerful way to get your Sushumna activated. And once your Sushumna is activated, it works its way through all the chakras. So there are huge implications for one's well-being. Yes, Vasanti ji.
Something which I have learned and read about Sushumna, it is not always activated. Here we are practicing, but otherwise naturally, 20 minutes at the sunrise and 20 minutes at the sunset. It is
Sandhya.
everybody's Sushumna is working. So if
That
any
is
one of us can catch that time, sunrise
that
and
is
sunset.
so
Yeah,
that is why they say our adhyatmic activity
yeah,
should be done during those times.
yes.
Sunrise 20 minutes before sunrise, 20 minutes before sunset, and also midnight and midday.
That I don't know.
These four times are said to be very critical. Also, they say that the nadis switch at this time for almost
Yeah,
everyone,
yeah.
and then the sushumna becomes activated. So take advantage of this. So that is why they say, see, notice one thing. The word spirituality in English, the word spirituality comes from the word respire. If I if I'm pronouncing it correctly, respire or spire, which means having to do with breath. So spirituality and breath are very closely connected.
Last 4 5 days, I'm thinking of on these things that yogis they used to only remain for days, 21
Yes.
days, 40, 54 days, only on breathing.
Yes.
Only,
So
no food, no water, nothing. So
yes, because every time we eat food, etc., in some way they create a certain pressure on the nadis in some way
yeah,
if there is more, so they wanted to keep the system so free from all of this that the nadis would become more and more and more quickly and better activated, and they knew that they would be breathing better if they were on a low diet, or even if they were not fasting completely, at least some kind of fasting or eating less. So eating less has always been a central part of adhyatmic activities or the spiritual process. None of the spiritual paths encourage you to be gluttonous as far as food is concerned. They advise, go slow, eat less than than you need. If you feel you need one, eat three-fourths, that sort of a thing. So reduce the amount of food that you eat, and that helps your system to work better. Also, pranayam is best done on an empty stomach.
Yes.
So before we eat anything in the morning. So mornings are supposed to be very good. Evenings before we have our second or third meal of the day, if we do our pranayam, etc., before that, also very good. That- it's all very deeply connected with the breath. Yes, Shamila ji.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. Can I please go? Because
Yes, yes,
we're
you may.
waiting. Yeah.
I know. You said that. Yes. Thank you very much. All the
Thank
best.
you. Yes,
I'm
thank
so
you so
glad
much.
you were here and
Yes.
participated in this program. And I hope you begin to see the benefits
Yes.
and to discover the power of breath.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And all the best to all the other participants.
Thank you, Sharmila ji.
You
Namaste.
too. I
Yeah.
think we will meet in WhatsApp group sometimes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you.
right. Sir. Thank
Okay.
you. Namaste.
Bye.
Mm.
Bye. Namaste.
So that's the role of breath, in any kind of spiritual process.
One
Very,
thing
very.
I wanted to ask
Mm,
about girls during
mm,
menses.
mm. Ji.
Can they do this breathing,
Oh
Hanuman
yes.
breathing,
Oh
etc.?
yes. Oh yes. Oh
No
yes.
problem.
Oh
Okay.
yes. But in all my breath work, I advise listen to your body.
Yeah, that is
If
always.
there is discomfort, if your body is saying no, hang on for a while, stop for a while,
Yeah.
try again after 5 or 10 minutes. If the body still rebels, stop it. Try
Mhm.
again, try again after half an hour maybe. If there is still, leave it for the day. Try
Yes.
the next day. If the next day again there is some problem, see, don't leave it totally. Keep trying, keep trying. But if the body is rebelling too much, listen to the body. That does not mean you become slave to the body, because sometimes the mind and the body, they play their own games. So,
Yes.
you've got to be careful there. Don't let don't let the mind, create excuses to not do something. And it's very good at doing that. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Hmm. Aruna ji, as usual, you're very quiet.
No, sir, I was practicing Anulom Vilom.
Oh, okay. Oh, Anulom Vilom without the hands?
No, I have
Okay.
just completed and listening to you.
Okay. Oh, there are yogis who do that as well. They do Anulom Vilom. They switch their breath without using their hands as well.
They
Okay.
have very good control on swaras. They can do. We are beginners. Okay
Uh,
then.
Hmm.
just before starting our session, 1 to 2 days before, I use I practiced jumping steps like
Hmm.
jogging
Hmm.
at home.
Hmm.
Then and
Hmm.
skipping.
With a
I
rope.
practice
Hmm.
skipping.
Hmm.
That's why I was suffering from heel pain,
Hmm.
severe
Hmm.
heel pain,
Hmm. Okay.
two to 3 days. But I
Oh.
noticed that after doing Hanuman Master Hanuman Breath and
Ah.
Viparita Karni,
Yes.
the pains are reducing, and now the
That's right.
pains are completely stopped.
Beautiful. Very
Good.
glad to hear that.
Just I think it is due to Hanuman Master Breath and Viparita
Hmm.
Karni.
Yes.
Whenever I practices this jumping, yeah, jogging
Hmm.
or skipping like
Hmm.
exercise, running
Hmm.
exercise, then
Hmm.
I always face this problem. But
Ah.
can we avoid this problem after doing Viprit Karni and Hanuman Master Breath?
See, your experience is your teacher. So usually I don't tell people to stop doing something that they have been doing if it is bringing them some benefits, some good results and so on. So if you are used to some jogging and some skipping, it's important for your well-being. You feel a little healthier, you get some exercise.
I avoid due to the heel pain, suffering from
But
heel pain and sometimes knee pain.
but now since this technique is helping you overcome that, do both. If you still find that it's coming,
Okay.
watch for, see, don't jump to conclusions in one incident or because of one incident, or watch over a period of time. Try again. If it's
Okay.
coming, okay, stop today. Again, try again after some time. See if that still comes. See if it comes. But this breath work helps. Also, as this Hanuman Master Breath becomes more part of you, a more ingrained part of you, and you are able to do the Hanuman Master Breath with a little more. I shouldn't tell you this now, but see,
I will do it.
any
I will
practice.
try it after 8 days. After practicing eight
No,
more days.
more.
Submit
Yeah,
what will be the
increase
experience? I will convey you.
increase the intensity gently. Don't do it too much, because sometimes we get over enthusiastic about something which seems to be working well, and then we overdo it, and then there are repercussions. Then the repercussions cause us to go off totally. In the process, what happens is something good that would have come our way, some good practice that we would have started, is lost because of a little over enthusiasm. So better to be a little slow and steady, become more and more familiar, more confident, and then take advantage of it.
Okay.
That's all I was saying. Yeah.
Okay. Definitely, sir.
But do it. Doing is important. No, doing is important. Do your skipping, do your jogging, etc. Also, even while you're doing that, do your Hanuman Master Breath. You can do that, no problem. I go for a walk in the morning. I do my Hanuman Master Breath.
Okay.
I do a very advanced or a very intense level of Hanuman Master Breath.
Which is the
I'm in
best
a
time
rush.
for which is the best time for doing Viparita Karani?
Usually mornings or evenings on an empty, light stomach is always best.
Okay.
Or see, yoga asanas, they are already, they're advised to be done, on a mostly empty stomach or near empty stomach. Pranayam is also, certain pranayams need 4 or 5 hours of empty stomach, or not having eaten anything for 4 or 5 hours, some 2 3 hours, and so on. But anulom vilom, they say, almost anytime, before food, after food, no problem. Anulom vilom. But even my anulom vilom is a more intense version of the anulom vilom that I shared with you, because it's very powerful. It's very powerful. It's very cleansing. Uh, I had COPD. You know what COPD is? Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. See, just now you can hear my voice, a little bit of something in my voice. That means there is a little phlegm that is trying to come out. But because I do this intense pranayam, I keep throwing it out. So the result is that today my system is so much more freed of phlegm. 72,000 nadis, Arunaji. Cleansing or
Yeah.
clearing phlegm from the body is not about cleansing it only from one small area. It's not that. Because phlegm is created in the. अच्छा इसको भी research करिए, Vasanti ji. Where is phlegm created? चलिए, do that. Where is phlegm produced? Google Baba. It's in the
In
epithelial. It's in the epithelial cells. In the under the skin. Now, why does it make sense to me? Air, the tattva air. See, the Panch Tattvas, no? Prithvi, Jal, Agni, Vayu, Akash.
yeah,
Vayu is a tattva. There is a sense connected with this tattva. There is a sense connected, for example, with fire. So there is one particular sense that is directly connected with each of the tattvas. The sense connected with air is touch. The sense, the sense, the five
five
sight,
senses.
hearing, yeah. Hearing is connected with space or akash. Fire is connected with sight, seeing. So on. Very interesting.
It is also collected behind our eyes, even in the eustachian
Oh yes.
blocks.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
this
that is that.
yeah.
But here the question just now was, where is phlegm produced in the body? What does it say?
Produced. No, that I didn't ask.
Produced, P-R-O, produced, made.
I asked for deposited. It's produced.
Where is phlegm produced?
Lungs and respiratory system. It is produced by the lungs.
Go deeper, go deeper, go deeper. See, I'll give you an example. For example, in the winter, for example, when it's cold, you leave a portion of your hand or one leg to expose it to colder weather. You will immediately start feeling a little heaviness in breath.
Yeah. Yes.
Because that part has already started the process of creating phlegm. Phlegm acts like a protection from cold. See, I think if you do a deeper research, you'll find it's produced in the epithelial cells. I think that's the term they use.
Okay.
आ रहा है?
नहीं आया अभी तक.
अच्छा, मैं करता हूँ. Phlegm or mucus, you can write mucus.
Mucus, yeah. It's all telling about respiratory.
Okay.
Yeah, goblet cells are a specialized type of epithelial cells that secrete mucins, any kind of class of glycoproteins found in mucus. For example, saliva, gastric juice secreted by mucous membranes.
So it's produced in numerous parts, lungs also, but also these epithelial cells and the gastrointestinal tract. So
Okay.
it's produced in numerous places like this. So there is a large amount of phlegm in the body. Some of it is necessary. When does mucus create a problem? When it becomes a barrier to the other processes in the body. One of them, of course, is breathing. If your breathing becomes labored, why does your breathing become labored? Because now your mucus is creating a separation between the cells which are absorbing oxygen from your breath.
Okay.
Right? So now it is affecting the functioning of the body. So now this becomes a problem. If it starts collecting, there was a very interesting guy called Dr. Sebi, S-E-B-I, Sebi, Dr. Sebi, whose contention was mucus is responsible for all the illnesses in the body. And he did his own research and writing and medicine. He was a doctor, so he practiced, he advised and so on. Dr. Sebi, do a little bit of research. There are people who spoke well of him. There were people who spoke ill of him as well. But there are people who actually benefited a lot from his methods.
In Ayurveda, in Panchakarma also, some kadas they call it, some remedies they give you, they ask you to drink, and it is a long process of 15 days, and they keep collecting cough from all over the body, and finally it comes to your stomach, intestine, and finally they give you some laxative and remove it.
2 weeks. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. What is this?
It's
What is it
Panchakarma.
called? Oh, it's part of
Panchakarma.
Panchakarma. Part of Panchakarma.
Yeah.
Very
So
interesting.
partly it's a total process. There are
Oh,
many
it is
parts.
okay. It is Panchakarma.
First,
Okay.
they give you some medicine, then it start acting all over your body. Then they started collecting from every portion of your body, and finally those medicine bring all those. Suppose it is excess of pitta, excess of kapha, it comes
Okay.
to your intestine, and finally
Oh.
they give
So
you
any
rechika.
dosh,
Yeah,
basically any dosh is
any
removed.
dosha, and it is removed. So it's a long process of 15 days.
I need to do one of those. I've never done that. I think I should do
I'm
it.
also
Yeah.
thinking of doing it. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a good thing.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything? Any observation? Any question?
Today
So,
I'm feeling very fresh. Yeah,
very fresh, despite your lumbar pain.
I took painkiller, no, so that
Oh,
for a
okay.
temporary period, at least for 4 hours. Because just I
Oh,
spoke to Aditi, I said, unless I take a painkiller, I won't be able to sit today.
oh.
I took a painkiller, and then I could concentrate. Because when there is a severe pain, you can't concentrate on your breathing.
True, true. It does affect it.
So let's see what
Remember,
happens
but
after two,
remember, Hanuman Master Breath was born out of severe pain. But then, anyway,
Yeah, but
really
you
very good.
should not have any other help around you. That's also very important.
How do you mean that?
thing.
How do you mean that?
All I mean is, yeah, like she had a medication nearby that she thought she could
Okay.
simply pop. Had
Yes.
had she been in a different situation just before the exam or during the exam, or like
Ah.
me in the MRI
Mm.
machine,
No choice.
then it would have happened.
no
Yeah.
choice, no choice. Yeah.
True. नहीं तो ठीक है. Fair enough. Once in a while we do that. I take medication when my boss forces me to take. For her satisfaction, I have to do it.
I
And
try to avoid taking painkillers, etc. But I
mm,
said I want to attend this lecture. Then
yes.
when I'm finding very difficult to concentrate on anything, then let me have a
Mm,
painkiller. Yeah.
mm. Yeah, because they suppress the pain for some time, but the pain comes back.
It doesn't suppress.
Mm,
Our brain stops us telling
mm.
that there is a pain.
Okay, so
It
it
acts on our brain.
stops. Okay, so it stops the
Pain
brain
is
from
there.
registering the pain. Okay.
Yes, painkiller does only that job. That our
Okay.
brain stops telling us. That's very dangerous,
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Mm.
Okay then. Yeah.
Very good. Or Aruna ji and Aditi ji, any comments to wrap up, or think we can?
I
Yeah.
will definitely send my testimonials and
Yes.
to you personally and on the group also.
Yes.
What is the result and what is the improvement in my varicose veins and other problems related to
Very
that.
good. तो एक तो इसका भी तो बता ही सकते हैं. That you've already noticed the pain that would come in the heels.
The
And
heel
वो
pain.
तो
I didn't notice it firstly, but I think that how my pains gone from my heels. Then I thought that due to Hanuman Master Breath and Viprit Karni, the pains gone early, too much early.
So let the conviction come. Continue a little longer. When you feel, yes, it is because of this, then do share. Videos are very powerful. Short videos, like half a minute, 1 minute, up to a minute long. The very powerful mediums of communication in social media times, when
Okay.
whatever you share on social media makes an impact, touches people.
Yes,
Aditi
sure.
ji, aapka bhi, I would love to, yours, let it take time. I'm not in any hurry, but if you find that the process, takes root and you begin to see benefit, you will see benefit. ये तो sure है, confident. But करते रहिए और अनुलोम विलोम अधिक करिए combined with this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. You were saying something.
No, I was saying that I'm anyway feeling nicer, which itself is a big thing because I was not feeling nice because I was not myself. So I was again feeling like myself, and that's good enough to start with.
So sorry, Aditi ji, I'm being disturbed.
Sorry.
So sorry.
No problem.
Yeah. So you'll have to repeat because I suddenly got,
That's fine. That's
bombarded.
fine.
Yeah.
All I was saying was that because I don't have a concrete pain to talk about,
Yes,
maybe I
yes,
can't say much,
true.
but I've noticed a certain things happening in my body, in my mind.
Mm,
Uh, the body things, well, it's like, I mean, there's a set of new medicines, and taking the medicines in, and medicines is not something that the body is by default used to or gets used to. It's not really medicines. It's mostly supplements of three kinds and things of that kind, or things that uh, the elderly people need to take for their diseases, such as Parkinson's and all. And then somehow I looked at the medicine, and the first question that the doctor asked was, "Are you a Google person?" I said, "What exactly do you mean?" He said, "Will you look up this medicine?" I said, "I of course will. But then, since you've prescribed it, I will not really make my own decisions after having your
uh,
prescription in my hands."
but I
So he
will
said, "If you're
definitely
that
do my
way, then
search.
be okay, because this is for Parkinson's and you don't have that." I was like, "Okay, whatever you say, I need to take these medicines, then I will take them." So all those medications, they have some impact on the body, and some rather crazy problems such as constipation and things like that, they come up, and one doesn't know why, where did one go wrong? Is one eating wrong? And I'm eating pretty much the stuff that I should be eating, normal food. So things of that kind. And in together with that, the food is also sorry, the breathing is also doing its own business in the body. The past week more or less has been like that. But then there's nothing that's very worrisome, or there is nothing that really made me think, no, 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 I don't want to do this breathing from today onwards or tomorrow onwards. No,
Yeah,
nothing
so
like
no
that.
adverse. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's moving. There's something or the other that's happening in the body. The body things one can't grasp, but the mind things one can grasp. And then there one has to rely. There are things where one needs to trust the body better, and there are things where one can trust the mind better. So if the
Yeah,
mind is feeling better, then one has to say that yes, my mind is feeling better. The
definitely.
body will
Systems. It's
follow.
about systems. Yeah.
Yeah.
And whatever you're doing, with the belly breathing and the Hanuman master breath, they will impact the movement of the systems.
One interesting thing that has happened is that I'm dreaming again.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I was not dreaming.
Okay.
Everybody dreams, so I must have been dreaming, but then
Okay.
maybe I never recollected them, or I never associated any importance to them. As a younger
Okay.
person, or till some time ago, I used to dream, and nice, very
Hmm.
interesting dream stories and
Hmm.
whatnot.
Acha.
But then with these medicines, I had anyway started dreaming. I could remember my dreams. So that happened because of the Parkinson's thing, the medicine. But then over the past 1 week, the dreams have become more lively.
Vivid.
Like, yeah, they're more involving, they're more intriguing, they're in general better dreams to wake up to also. So that but then I don't know what I can share out of this, except for the positives that I have experienced.
That's very interesting.
But
Have you noticed that
yeah.
sometimes dreams are also predictive, precognitive? They seem to predict something. Have you noticed? I asked because I am a very avid dream watcher, or I used to be. And my dreams used to predict a lot about what was going to happen in my life, particularly. Not so much about generally, about global events, but definitely about my life. So that's
No, my
interesting.
dreams have never been predictive, but then they are very close to life.
Ah, okay, okay.
So that they are.
Notice, try to notice the connection.
Yeah.
Sometimes, they kind of, point you towards something that may happen. You might be able to catch it. Since I'm telling you now, maybe you'll pay a little more attention to them, and then you'll begin to see connections.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Vasanti ji, I think you had something to say. You were waiting to say something. I got
No,
that
no,
impression. Right.
no, nothing to
Vasanti.
say. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, so
Okay,
continue with these practices,
sure.
belly breathing, the relaxed belly breathing, Hanuman master breath, and now the Anulom Vilom as well. It's a journey. It's a journey you started with, and as you go deeper, Hold on to it. Don't get shaken off, because things will happen in life that will shake you off. Don't get shaken off as far as your connection with the breath is concerned. Right? Thank you very much. And it's been a very
Thank you.
pleasant 1 week with you all. And I hope it's helped you as well. And will continue to help you.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste. All the best. Let's do a 3 ohms before we sign out.
Yeah.
Three
Yes.
ohms? Not too many. Slow, deep breath. Thank you and namaste.
Thank you.
Okay.